Hey guys, this is JonTaun from Total Brohammer, and this video is going to be round 4 of Shetland Apache's King's Cup tournament. Alright, so I'm going to be fighting up against Scrible as the Beastmen. So at this point, Scrible was, I believe he was number 1 in the tournament, and I know that the Beastmen have a very good matchup against the Dark Elves. They're one of the few factions that give them a run for their money, them and Lizardmen, probably. And High Elves to an extent. I think they can if you play them right. So let's go over army compositions. For my army, I've got 3 Dread Spears, 2 Hargoneth Executioners to deal with those best scores, 2 Blackguard and Nagaron, 1 Witch Elf, 2 Dark Shards with Shields, another Dread Spear, so 4 Dread Spears in total, and a Dark Rider with Shields in the back. And the reason I got these guys is they can beat up hounds. So I've also got Malekith on Seraphon over here, and he's got the standard spells I bring of Power of Darkness, Chill Wind, and Soul Stealer. Alright, and so for my opponent, I think I've actually fought Scrible before, because I've seen this exact build on ladder, and I gotta say, if you end up fighting this on ladder, unless you bring a very specific army to counter it, so if you see it coming, it can be difficult. So what's he got? He's got 3 Synagors with throwing axes, he's got a Cygor over here, with some Ungor Spearmen Herd with Shields to support him. He's got 2 Bestigor. He's got another Ungor Spearman. Another Ungor Spearman. And so 4 Ungor Spearmen total. He's got a Bray Shaman of Wild. And he's got, he's on a Chariot. And he's got Savage Dominion. So he's going to be summoning a Cygor. He's also got a Razegor Chariot. A Beastlord on a Chariot. And Minotaurs with great weapons. So this is a very scary build, and I'm going to show y'all why here. Alright, so immediately I see that he's got the range advantage, and I'm going to have to move up immediately. So he's going to do some initial skirmishing with me, and I want y'all to see just how accurate these Cygors are. They are ridiculous. So there's the second summon Cygor. I'm just pushing up here, trying to pull my full Spearman forward, and my Blackguard and Nagaron back whenever I can, to have the Silver Shields take the fire there. And I want you to see what he's doing here. Look how much damage he's already done to the Blackguard and Nagaron, to this Hargoneth Executioner. My army's pretty much already taken a lot of damage, and he's completely untouched. So he's just going to send in his fodder in the front line. Going to send in his Bestigor, and I don't have enough forces to go after this guy. I don't have enough forces to go after everything, and he's got a ton of mobility. So I'm going to land Malekith back here to get on this Beastlord, and he's going to send in these Minotaur with great weapon. And you can see, huge mistake. I'm going to drop a Soul Stealer right here to get some of my health back and pull out of here. Also going to weave my Witch Elves through, because I want to get on this high value blob. But look how much damage was done, and he immediately pulls away, and then screens with Ungor Spearman Herd. So that's pretty much useless over there. So these Bestigor break through my Spearmen in seconds. These Bestigor are going to beat up these Hargoneth Executioners. I'm trying to bog down these Razegor Chariots with these Dark Riders, but he's going to screen with Ungor Spearman Herd. And honestly, this is just masterful play here. Every time I almost get to one of his high value targets, he just sends some fodder and screen. And I'm going to do a breath attack on these Bestigor Herd so that my Hargoneth Executioners can win, but they still got wrecked in the process. I'm going to come in here and try to get on these Razegor Chariots. And I do get a couple hits on him, thankfully. But I also terror route this guy. So we beat up these Bestigor Herd right here with the help of my Dark Shards. Pushing through the center with these Dread Spears. And we got his Beastlord. I got him with the Witch Elves, so now I'm focusing him down with these Dark Shards. He does, however, have this Bray Shaman of Wild on my Dark Shards. I have these Spearmen protecting my archers from these Ungor Herd in the back. And he is just running around with these Synagors with throwing axes, and I can't really pin him down, and I also can't really pin down these Razegor Chariots. My most effective pinning unit, the Witch Elves, are over here, and they are working on these guys right now. Which honestly is a waste, because this guy is a summoned unit, and is going to do some. So I can see he's trying to spread me apart so he can pick me off. So I'm just going to try, in a moment here, I'm going to just kind of get all my forces back together. I'm going to pull these guys off this Cygor. He's rampaging. I'm going to send these Hargoneth these Blackguard and Nagaron to finish these guys off. I catch his Synagors with throwing axes here real quick, but he's going to immediately retreat with them, and his Beastlord is going to come back, unfortunately. Spaceman Wild is still up, so he's still got a ton of chariots. And you know what? I don't know what happened to his Minotaur with great weapon. Where are they? I guess they got engaged with some Hognath Executioners or something. So he's just going to be picking away at my high value targets. These guys are armor piercing. These guys don't stand a chance. So I'm trying to reform over here now. And hopefully I'm going to be able to use Terror and the proximity of these Witch Elves to rampage any high value targets and just try to get these guys off the field. Do a Dragon Breath into these Bestigor herd to rout them off. I'm trying to shoot down this guy, and then he's going to come in with the Synagor with throwing axes. And let me look at the stats on these guys. So 27 melee attack and 20 melee defense. They are being buffed right now by Primal Fury, but I am Spiteful Conjuration is also going down on them, so they only got 20 armor right now. Huh? They have 35 usually. Doesn't look like they're wearing any. In any case, I'm going to use a Soul Stealer on them. And I'm just because I want to try to rout these guys off and do a lot of damage and hopefully terrify them off. But as you can see, he's just going to come in and pull out. Going to use a Chill Wind to try to slow him down. But these guys have perfect vigor, so it doesn't matter. They're just going to pull through. And as you can see, he's just picking me off now. He's still got this full health Cygor over here. Not much I can do about that. And here come these Minotaurs. He's going to pull them off. Not sure why. These Spearmen and Hognath Executioners don't really pose a threat to them. But he's sending his Ungor Spearman herd over here. I'm going to try to terror rout them off. And yeah, he's just picking me apart at this point. I don't have enough troops left. He's just done so much range damage, and this Cygor has done so much damage to my high value targets. 109 kills on Hognath Executioners and probably Blackguard and Nagaron. Insane. Was never able to pin down these chariots, never even killed a model. Same thing for his Ray Shaman of Wild, so man, this was just a slaughter on my part. Like I said, I've met this on ladder before, and unless you see it coming, it really is very, very difficult to beat. So, yeah, let's look at the in-battle screen here. So his Cygor got 112 kills. I'm sure the other one got quite a few kills as well. Bestigor did pretty great. His Ungor Spearman herd, he used these guys masterfully. Every time I was almost got one of his chariots, these guys would come in and they'd just be able to pull through their own troops. Same thing with the Synagors with throwing axes. He sent them into melee in the right times against archers, and it was just really good. I mean, all the chariots, I just couldn't pin them down. And these guys, I was never able to catch these guys either. The Dark Elves don't have anything particularly fast besides Dark Riders, and I'm pretty sure these guys could just kite the Dark Riders out, so they'd win. So yeah, a very tough first game. The first game does go to Scrible. So that's the first one I've lost in this tournament. And let's look at game 2. So, as you can see, I'm bringing Malekith again, 4 Dread Spears, a Witch Elf, 3 Hognath Executioners, 3 Dark Shards, and 2 Cold One Knights. And he's got, he's got Malagor, 4 Bestigor herd. He's got 2 Synagors with throwing axes. He's got 2 Synagors with great weapons. And he's also got 2 Minotaurs with great weapons, as well as some Poison Hounds. Anything else? 2 Poison Hounds. Alright, so let's see how this one goes down. So I assume he didn't bring that other build because this map is very forested, and I could move into here and block a lot of his Synagor with throwing axes shots and Cygor rock shots. So my plan here is try to protect these Dark Shards, and if you have 3 Dark Shards focusing on any unit, it is going to die, and it is going to die fast. I've also brought Malekith on a chariot this time, which turns out to be a good idea since he has so many Bestigor herds. And we're just gonna be positioning over here. I'm gonna get in range of his Bestigor herds and start shooting at him to force him to advance. And I'm just gonna be screening over here and making sure these Synagors and Hounds can never get to my archers. Because if I can keep my archers up, I have a chance at this. So I'm gonna get in range here and then start firing. He's gonna drop a Devolve right here, an upgrade Devolve. And that's doing some pretty good damage. That's 8 leadership. Yeah, I did quite a bit of damage. Did it hit these guys? No. So it only hit these Spearmen really. So these guys are gonna take the charge. Look how much damage Bestigor do on the charge. Those guys are just slaughtered. And he runs into these Hargonath Executioners so that they can't get their charge. And look, already down to half health. So I'm going to send these guys in to try to ward these guys off. But the damage has already been done, and they're so much faster, they're just going to pull out of there. Have these guys in reserve to ward off any hounds, hopefully. And I did lose track of this hound, so he's going to get behind me. But I think I will send these Cold One Knights on him soon. Send the Cold One Knights and these Bestial Herd to help these Hargonath Executioners win this battle faster. And I just have Malekith going through here, using magic, and just, you know, being a chariot, pulling through all over the place. Moving these Spearmen back here, get these Cold One Knights on these Chaos Warhounds with poison. But there's just too much to try to control. I mean, he even charges in with these Synagores with throwing axes, but they're so fast that I can't really do any damage to them. So my Cold One Knights are having a hard time taking these guys. Man, they are not taking damage, even with Murder's Prowess come down. And he is able to get his hounds halfway on the spear unit and halfway on this guy. I do beat these Bestigor over here, and I send my Cold One Spear Riders in here because he's got a lot of Synagores with great weapons, and they do have anti-large. So as you can see, my formation has fallen apart. He's just got way too much. However, I am winning the front line, I think. I'm going to be sending Malekith after Malagor here. I actually didn't even realize he had Malagor, but turns out to work out because Malekith is going to kick his ass. I'm also get these Witch Elves on Malagor, making sure he cannot get away. So as you can see, my idea of having all the archers did not work against the Beastmen. That's not surprising. Send these Cold One Knights in after these Synagores with great weapons and these spears. They should be able to mop them up if he doesn't pull them out. These archers are free, but my Hargonath Executioners have, for the most part, been destroyed. But I am still riding around with Malekith over here, trying to take down Malagor the Dark Omen. Keep on charging in and out, and I'm doing a lot of damage to him. So my archers are coming back, but yeah, it's not looking great for either side. It could still go either way. So right now I'm just trying to take out this center blob here. I don't have many infantry left myself. I'm just shooting at these Minotaurs with great weapons, but strangely, I've killed most of them at this point, so that's really good for me. These Synagores with great weapons are really blocking up my Malekith over here, but I'm going to send these Cold One Knights in, do a rear charge, and they're going to take care of him. He's going to try to pull these hounds straight through onto my archers. As you can see, it does work, and he does get on them, and he's going to knock them out. This Bestigor herd over here push through these Dread Spears, and he is going to overchase a little bit. So I still have Malekith in here, and I see that Malagor is undefended, so I'm going to send him straight after him. And he's still got these Minotaurs with great weapons. And Minotaurs, I don't know if they got stat buffs, but they got model buffs, so Minotaurs and Monstrous Infantry in general are much better. But as you can see now, I got quite a pocket here. So it's not looking bad right now. Have these Bestigor chasing after my Dark Shards. Bestigor are quite fast, but I have these other Dark Shards shooting into them as they run, and they are beginning to break. So I'm hoping that they'll get off another volley and be able to break these guys before they get into melee. And let's see if they do. And no. It looks like they're not going to be able to, but they also do not get a charge bonus. But at that point, I'm chasing off Malagor, and his army does indeed shatter. So, a very hard-fought battle. He got into my back line, he got into the cookie jar, he absolutely disrupted everything. But despite that, my Dark Shards were still able to do a lot of damage. So, it's one for Scrible and one for me right now. So, on the in-battle screen, these guys right here, they took that charge from those Bestigors, and that was it. They did absolutely nothing in return. So, I think it's very important to have some kind of fodder in the front line to take those charges, because I think Bestigors may not beat Hargonath Executioners one-on-one, even if they get the charge, but Hargonath Executioners will absolutely destroy them if Bestigor don't give their charge. So I did a pretty good job with the Witch Elves when I was able to pin down Malagor. Unfortunately, he did get away, but I was able to do enough damage to him to help with the army losses. Cold One Knights did very well with them, at least one of the groups of them, at screening in my back line, but I just didn't have enough of them, because, I mean, all his cav, he's got 6 units to pressure the back line, and he's still got a super formidable front line, as well as a caster, so it was tough. That was definitely a very close match, and a really good game to Scribble there. So, since it's one-on-one, this round does indeed go on to 3 matches. So, as you can see here, I've got Malekith, a Death Hag on a Blood Cauldron, 3 Spearmen, 2 Witch Elves, 3 Hargonath Executioners, Blackguard Nagaron, and 1 Cold One. and he brought the army he originally brought. So I should have seen this coming. For some reason I didn't expect him to use the same build over again, but this is an even better map for it because it's even more open. So it's the same army as the first time, and we'll try to go through this one fast because it's essentially the same thing as the first one's gonna go down. I'm gonna give it my best shot, but I should have seen this coming. Watching some of his battles later in the tournament, I realized that every time there's an open map, he brings the same build, so at least against the Dark Elves. So if I ever have to fight him again, I will keep that in mind. So I got his Minotaurs over here to charge in, so I sent my cold ones after them. He does screen with some spearmen, but I'm going to send my Death Hag in there. And the thing about the Death Hag is, it is very good at terror routing and doing a lot of damage very fast to low tier infantry. So I do get it into these Minotaurs. I'm going to pull it out, and I'm going to send in the Witch Elves, my Spearmen, and the Cold One Knights. And they are going to wreck these guys. Well, that's a very high value target off the field, initially. And I do get these Witch Elves on these Razor Chariots, but I'm not sure how Madness of Cain works, but it doesn't proc, so it's very unfortunate for me. I am going to pull these guys back, and right now I'm just too spread out. I think that was one of my main problems during this entire match. So I'm going to send Malekith after this Cygor. He is on a cold one this match, by the way. I'm going to send this Death Hag into these Ungor Spearmen, and he is doing a lot of damage, and the morale is dropping as well. So he's just doing the cycle charges. I mean, these guys are so fast, even though that they're not armor piercing in melee, they can just come in, do a lot of damage, and just get out. And also, these Cygors have absolutely destroyed these Sargonath Executioners. So here come these Bestigour Herd. They get to charge on them. We don't get counter charge. They're gonna melt. Now, as you can see, I don't have anything to stop these guys. He's got so many chariots and so many Synagors. I keep on trying to pull my Witch Elves out of here, but these Ungor Spearmen herd are actually doing really good at killing them. I was very surprised about that. So I got another Witch Elf here. He sees them, immediately turns around. His micro is on point. So, Malekith was taking forever to kill the Cygor, so I decided to break off, and his Minotaurs with great weapons unfortunately do come back. So my Cold One Knights, I'm sending them after his chariot right here, but they do get caught on the Synagor with throwing axes, and they do get rampaged. So I got Malekith going after this Beast Lord over here, but this Beast Lord is faster than Malekith. As well, he has spears to screen. So y'all can tell what's happening. I'm getting picked apart and destroyed. The micro is incredible. Scribbles is incredibly good. I think if I had seen the build coming again, I would have been able to make a counter build that might have been able to work. I'm really interested in trying to fight this build again. But as you can see, the cycle charging, I mean, what are Sargonath Executioners going to do? They get knocked down, and these guys get out of there before they can even get back up. Not to mention, these Cygors are just, holy cow, they're so accurate. Look at this guy with 117 kills. I was rewatching this battle, and I noticed they don't miss an entire shot the entire match. Every single shot they get is on a high value target. So I got Malekith trying to kill this Brave Shaman and Wild over here, but he's got a lot of guys in the way, so he's not doing a whole lot of damage. He's not getting any hits in. I'm gonna send this Death Hag in here to try to support him and get on this Beast Lord. But yeah, I do eventually win this flank, but we just got guys all intermixed, and I cannot pull away. Got these Bestigour going in on these Witch Elves and Dread Spears. There's not much I can do about it. As you can see, he's just going to surround me here, and this Death Hag and Malekith are going to have to fight out to the very end. I was able, however, to rout off his Beast Lord. So he's just running around with his Razor Chariot. And even when I can get these Witch Elves on a chariot, the Madness of Cain doesn't end up proccing. So that's very unfortunate for me. So watch this. These guys are just going to come in. The Witch Elves are in there. And oh, finally. Just making me look stupid. But now it's a little bit too late. So Malekith and the Death Hag are just fighting in here. I'm going to speed up because it's written on the wall right now. I'm surrounded. And there's not much I can do. I'm going to drop a Soul Stealer over here, and it's going to help rout these guys off and make them pull away. I'm going to come over here and try to finish off these Razor Chariots. But his Cygor's coming in, and he's going to be able to do a lot of damage. Whereas his Brave Shaman of Wild over here, and his Beast Lord has come back. So he's just got too much left. And look at these guys, they still got a ton of ammo. So even if I was able to kill off his melee units, he would just kite me around the map and just kill me with that, which would be a really good idea. And in normal matches, It's a valid tactic even in normal matches if you still have ammo left. So as you can see, he's just riding around, and he's got this Sigor stomping on Malekith over here. And I did a lot of damage to his army, but I think I really need a different composition to deal with this build. Death Hag, it's tough. I'm thinking maybe Blackheart Corsairs with handbows would have been really good, because at least they could have been returning fire and they don't completely blow in melee. I mean, they could probably be Ungor Spearmen Herd in melee. So their range of the Blackheart Corsairs with handbows would also be very good against these Sigors. So very good games to Scrible. He did win. I did lose round 4. He won 2. I won 1. So let's look at this breakdown here. The Death Hag did great. Malekith didn't do much, and really the rest of my army didn't do much. These Blackguard and Nagaron did pretty good. These Witch Elves got some kills. But as you can see, these Best-Scored Herds just wiped the floor. He sent them in the right engagements. Didn't get them on my Harganeth Executioners, and when he did, he was getting a rear charge. And his Sigors just did so much damage. The other one got over 117 kills, and that was the spawned one, so that one was basically for free. And his Chariots were just riding around rampant, and I couldn't catch any of these guys. So very good game to Scribble, and that was round 4, guys. So I'm going to put a link in the description to the leaderboard of the tournament if you want to see where I ended up in this tournament. That's going to be all for this one, guys. This is JonTaun for Brohammer, signing out.